Let the hate flow through you.
G'day, Tēnā Koto, Numai Harimai, Anzac here, also known as Angelite85. May the Force be with you, my fellow Jedi, Sith, scoundrels, Wookiees, Imperial Stormtroopers, and slave princesses and princes if you're into gender-bending cosplays. Which, I think some of them look really cool. But anyway, this was meant to be the first video in a series of videos that were going to come out this month. There was 8 originally planned. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, the fact that my equipment is going into storage because we're moving and all this other stuff, it just hasn't panned out. And it's not like I wouldn't have had many Star Wars games that would have been available to me. Some good, some bad, some disgustingly bad. But, as usual, let's get into the nitty-gritty, boring factual side of the stuff with these retro showcases. You know, before getting into any of my subjective likes and dislikes of the game. So, obviously, I am doing my all-time favourite Star Wars game. It sits right up there, only chased by Knights of the Old Republic. The two of them. I love both of those games. And that is Battlefront 2. The proper Battlefront 2, not the reboot coming out by EA and DICE, but the proper one. This one was released to PlayStation 2, PSP, Windows, and Xbox on October 31st, 2005 in Europe, and November 1st of the same year in North America. The game was published by LucasArts and developed by the wonderful, now no longer existent, Australian Pandemic Studios. Brisbane-based guys, too. So, you know. It had a single-player campaign. Actually, they both did. So, you know, hear that, EA and DICE? The original 2 had proper single-player campaigns. And I know, you're putting in a campaign in the reboot out this year, which is good. But I hope you have listened to more than just the fact that we wanted a campaign, okay? Okay. Now the campaign, unlike the first Battlefront, which had campaign missions based on the faction you chose, Battlefront 2 had only the one campaign named Rise of the Empire that is narrated by a veteran of the 501st Legion, which starts during the Clone Wars and ends with the assault on Hoth, which we saw in Empire Strikes Back. All in all, there is 18 missions to play through with optional space missions. Hear that, EA and DICE? Space missions. Battlefront 2 had another mode called Galactic Conquest, which is a risk-style type mode where when you meet an enemy on the same planet, it switches to the normal view and you must eliminate the enemy to take control of the planet. You gain credits for kicking ass, and you use those credits to buy new character classes, a new fleet, or bonuses that help when you attack or defend a planet. Then there is obviously the multiplayer side of it, which was being run by the now defunct GameSpy service. But thanks to community support, you can use Game Ranger to get your multiplayer freak on if you want. I've always enjoyed this game. It gives me the same enjoyment that I get from Battlefield 1942. In fact, the team at Pandemic seem to have taken inspiration and the basic formula of Battlefield 1942 and produced Star Wars Battlefront 2. And 1, obviously. Both fantastic IPs from the Star Wars license. Now, the graphics and audio and animations by today's standards, especially up against the reboot from DICE, do look dated. Like, don't get me wrong, they look fantastic, but they look dated. And as you can see, there seems to be some graphical glitches with my gameplay here, which is the assault mode running heroes, and that with that, you know, the solid colouring. So there's obviously something a little bit off there, but it's a game from 12 years ago, that doesn't play well. Obviously, isn't playing well with a modern day system, but that's beside the point. There are games that look pretty bad in comparison, especially the Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast, which came out 2 years before Battlefront 2. But, time still hasn't just been very kind with this most enjoyable game. I mean, in multiplayer, I love the Icaria Assault style multiplayer maps. But then again, I am a sucker for objective-based modes like Rush. The fact that you go from one ship and you fly over to the next ship and you got to do stuff fighting your way over there and all that sort of stuff just gives me goosebumps thinking about it. But it's such a fantastic mode. I love those modes. Now, do I recommend this game to anybody today? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. If you want to see a Battlefield-like Star Wars done properly, the original Battlefronts are it. Now you can pick up Battlefront 2 for $9.99 US on Steam. It's available on Steam. The link will be in the down below. While there, why not check out the entire Star Wars catalog that are there? I mean, they've got not every single Star Wars title in there, but pretty damn bloody close. I can tell you that now. They have a lot. I mean, even I have a lot. I actually picked up a lot of my stuff from a Bundle Stars bundle, but I mean, you've got Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2, which I cannot recommend enough. Those two are fantastic RPGs, and if you want an MMORPG, a good one that you can play now, I mean, admittedly, there was Galaxies, which I never played, but I did hear that it actually it was a bit of a rocky start for it, and it didn't take off very well, but they got it to a point where it was really good and everything was balanced out properly and everybody was happy, and then they changed a whole bunch of things and killed it and ended up getting shut down. But, the Old Republic is fantastic. BioWare has taken over the day-to-day of that thing, and they're just producing more and more in-game content for that game, and it's fantastic. So check that out. But I mean, on Steam, you've got Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, you've got Dark Forces, you've got Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, which actually, out of the Jedi Knight games that I've played, I really did actually enjoy Jedi Academy more than really anything. And if you're a fan of the Lego stuff, obviously Lego Star Wars is on there, the Complete Saga, the Clone Wars, which was Star Wars 3, and then there's even the Force Awakens, the newest iteration of Lego. There's Galactic Battlegrounds Saga on there. There's the Force Unleashed 1 and 2 available. There are tons and tons and tons of Star Wars games that you could go onto Steam right now and pick up for around for a tenner on there. So, it's great to go back and see these games and play these games, and I mean, this is one of the reasons why I'm a PC gamer. I can go back and I can play these games. But anyway, I'm completely off track and all that. All I can say is I really, really hope that EA and DICE deliver properly with Battlefront 2 later this year. I really, really hope they deliver a really strong entry. I would love to see it knock the original Battlefront out. I really would, because their reboot of Battlefront was to be look, it was boring as batshit. I would rather go and watch paint dry than play that Battlefront. The graphics were amazing, the audio was amazing, the animations were amazing. The gameplay was a complete and utter letdown. It was boring. It lost what they did. Was they stripped back so much of what made Battlefront, the original Battlefronts, so much fun, was taken out, and that really sucks. But anyway, I've been the Anzac Gamer, also known as Angel885. Thanks for stopping by my pub. Keep that beer on ice. I will see you around like a rissole in North Order.